Some people feel different their entire lives, but can never explain why. They don't feel superior. They don't feel special. They just feel out of place. Notice things others miss. They feel deeply, but speak little. Think in layers, not lines. Psychology suggests that this feeling isn't random. It often comes from rare personality traits that only a small percentage of people possess. Not traits that make you loud or dominant, but traits that make you internally complex. One of the rarest traits is deep internal awareness. People with this trait are constantly observing their own thoughts, emotions, and reactions. They don't just feel something, they question it. Why did that bother me? Why did I react this way? What does this say about me? This level of self-awareness is uncommon because it requires emotional honesty, and emotional honesty is uncomfortable. Most people avoid looking inward. Rare personalities live there. Another rare trait is emotional restraint paired with emotional depth. These people feel intensely, but rarely express it dramatically. They don't overreact. They don't explode. They don't seek attention. Instead, they process internally. This often makes them appear calm, detached, or even cold. But internally, they experience emotions at a much deeper level than most. Psychology links this trait to advanced emotional regulation, a skill that takes years of internal development. Another uncommon trait is the ability to stay mentally independent. People with rare personalities are difficult to influence emotionally, not because they're stubborn, but because they think before absorbing opinions. They question trends. They resist emotional manipulation. They don't blindly follow crowds. This doesn't make them rebellious. It makes them internally grounded. And because of this, they often feel disconnected in group settings. They dainty think like everyone else, and they dainty want to pretend that they do. Another rare personality trait is comfort with solitude, not loneliness, solitude. These individuals don't need constant stimulation or validation. They can sit alone with their thoughts without feeling restless. Psychologically, this is rare because most people use noise, people, or distractions to escape themselves. Rare personalities don't escape, they reflect. This trait often develops early in life, especially in people who had to mature emotionally faster than others. Another trait found in only a small percentage of people is heightened sensitivity to emotional environments. These individuals can sense tension in a room instantly. They notice subtle shifts in tone, body language, and energy. They feel affected by environments more than people realize. Because of this, they may avoid loud places, shallow conversations, or emotionally chaotic people. This sensitivity isn't weakness, it's heightened perception. Psychology often links this trait to high emotional intelligence. Another uncommon characteristic is delayed emotional attachment. Rare personalities don't bond easily, but when they do, they bond deeply. They don't rush trust. They don't open up quickly. They observe first. This is why they may appear distant early on, but incredibly loyal once connected. Their mind prioritizes safety over speed. Another rare trait is discomfort with superficial success. These individuals aren't impressed by status, attention, or validation alone. They crave meaning. They question goals that don't align with values. They feel empty chasing things that don't feel authentic. This makes them slower in some areas of life, but more fulfilled internally. Psychology shows that people with this trait often feel lost early in life because society rewards surface achievement, not internal alignment. Another rare personality trait is high tolerance for uncertainty. Most people panic when outcomes are unclear. Rare personalities can sit with uncertainty without forcing answers. They don't need immediate closure. They don't rush decisions out of fear. This trait allows them to think clearly under pressure, but also makes them prone to overthinking when idle. Their mind never stops exploring possibilities. Another uncommon trait is selective social energy. They don't dislike people. They just dislike meaningless interaction. They prefer depth over frequency, quality over quantity. This often results in smaller social circles and a strong sense of emotional independence. Psychology suggests that this trait is often misunderstood as introversion or arrogance, and it's actually intentional emotional economy. Another rare personality marker is internal motivation. These individuals don't rely heavily on praise or external rewards. They push themselves quietly, feel discomfort when stagnant. They seek growth naturally. This internal drive can feel isolating because others may not understand why they care so deeply. Finally, one of the rarest traits is emotional accountability. People with this trait don't blame others icily. They reflect first. They ask, what part did I play? What can I learn? How can I improve? This level of responsibility is uncommon because it requires humility. But it also leads to personal growth that others struggle to achieve. Here is the part most people don't realize. Having rare personality traits doesn't make life easier. It often makes it harder. You feel misunderstood, out of sync, disconnected. But these traits aren't flaws. They're signs of a mind built for depth, reflection, and long-term clarity. The challenge, SNT, changing who you are. It's learning how to live authentically in a world that values noise over insight. And once you stop trying to fit into places that were never meant for you, these traits stop feeling like burdens, start feeling like quiet strengths.